I'm Robin Boyce.
And I'm Wendy Simmons.
And welcome to Bank on Save Up, an initiative by the St. Louis Regional Unbanked Task Force. We're here to talk about how banking is really important to you. And we would like for you to find out how your finances are working for you and what more you can do to get a great banking account. Wendy, you're going to be here and talking with us a little bit about some history as we go into this wonderful venture.
Yes.
And you've got some great people here in the studios right now.
And looking forward to talking with them.
I'm ready for you to go on and talk with them, and I'm sure the audience is ready for you too.
Thank you,
Bank
Robin.
on Save Up. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Robin. Okay. Hello, everyone. As again, I'm Wendy Simmons, and I want to welcome my guests today. Oh my goodness, two of my favorite people, Alex Fenora of Midwest Bank, and Miss Ramona Taylor Williams. Oh, I'm not going to forget Ramona. But I wanted to thank you guys for coming in today and sitting down with us to talk about the Unbanked Task Force and especially the Bank on Save Up side of it. Yes. But before we get into anything, I think we really ought to give people a bit of a background on how this initiative began. And Alex, let me begin with you, because I know you were at the start.
Well, Bank on Save Up St. Louis is the initiative of the St. Louis Regional Unbanked Task Force, and we started about 3.5 years ago. Right. Very modest beginnings where three ladies, one of which is right here, sat around a table and saw the results of the FDIC study from 2009, which unfortunately stated for St. Louis that we had the worst amount of unbanked and underbanked individuals in metropolitan areas throughout the country. Right. So just one quick fact on that, 2/3 of the African Americans in the St. Louis metropolitan area at that time were either unbanked or underbanked. So they said, we can't have that in St. Louis. Right. So they went about starting talking to banks and other nonprofit partners and began just a task force that has resulted into Bank on Save Up. Right. Right. That you see today.
And Ramona, I know you were very instrumental in the startup as well. So can you tell me a little bit about your role and M-Slice? Because I don't want to forget your organization. It was very impactful.
Thank you. I attended a conference at the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank and met a woman by the name of Dorothy Brown, who is with a community affairs specialist for FDIC in Region 7 in Kansas City. And so we were just so happened to be in a workshop, and I was making some comments. And afterwards, we got together and we started talking, and we talked about, and I brought the attention of my concerns about the unbanked situation from FDIC's report to her attention, and that is where it all began.
And it began with that conversation
between you two ladies. It began with that conversation.
Now, you both have thrown out some high-power names, FDIC, and then you mentioned Federal Reserve.
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
And these folks have been involved with how this agenda has gone forward?
Oh, yes, FDIC played a key role in the initial standing up of the organization, and it has evolved now into an organization, of the St. Louis Regional Unbanked Task Force. And our first initiative was, of course, intersecting and bringing the banks together. And each one of the three partners, Dorothy Brown, Eileen Wolfington, and myself, we had specific roles that we played in bringing the task force together.
Wow, interesting.
And kind of bringing it forward a little more. Yes. So what started with three ladies has led to 20 financial institutions that are now a part of Bank on Save Up St. Louis and over 45 nonprofit partners.
25 nonprofit partners.
45.
45. I beg your pardon.
45 in St. Louis. Yeah. So, and our major goal is to take the 129,000 unbanked individuals at that time and 229,000 underbanked. And we want to get at least 20,000 over the next 3 years, which we have another year to go.
That's our goal.
Right. Now, how old is this initiative at this point?
It is going into the Unbanked Task Force itself, or how the initiative, the Bank on Save Up initiative, we just celebrated our first anniversary in March.
Okay.
Yes. And
so, pardon me for interrupting, but we actually have two phases here. We have the initiative, which is the Unbanked Task Force initiative, and then we have the Bank On Save Up portion as well.
Yes,
And
Bank On
that's the
Save
call
Up
to
is
action.
the initiative, the action.
Okay.
Yes.
The task force is about 3.5 years old because if you look at all of the people that I just named at the table, it took a while for us to get together, and we didn't want to just jump out and just do something. We wanted to find the best model. So we did a lot of research, and we thought that the Bank On model that started in San Francisco was the model best for us. But we saw the importance of wealth building. Yes. So that's why we added the save up component.
Right.
So ours isn't just about getting checking accounts, it's about taking people from low wealth communities who don't have a lot of options and showing them that just a little bit of savings can go a long way. One fact that I always like to go back to is that you're 7 times more likely if you save money to go to college than if you don't.
Okay.
So it's an important thing for our future. It's not just about checking boxes and getting people into accounts. It's how can we really change lives.
So St. Louis is not alone in this initiative as well. You mentioned San Francisco. Are there other cities that are doing the same thing
There's
or similar?
There's over 100 initiatives across the country. But St. Louis, we are recognized as one of the leaders. We have the most amount of banks that
Can we
are
say
part.
the leader?
We can say
Can
the
we say
leader.
the leader?
We can say the leader if we'd like to. So we have the most bank partners. We have the most nonprofit partners. We raise the most monies. Our banks that are a part of it and nonprofit partners are very giving. We raise the most money of any Bank On initiative across the country. And we've had results. To date, we have over 2,000 accounts that have been opened. And the most important thing for us is 96% of those accounts. 96% of those accounts are retained.
Yes. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Now, you guys have a relationship between the two organizations, Midwest Bank and MSlice as an organization. By the way, will you please explain what MSlice, the acronym, means? I mean, we only got a couple seconds, but please.
The acronym is Metro St. Louis Coalition for Inclusion and Equity.
Okay, I like that word, inclusion.
Inclusion and equity.
And it looks like we have a lot of equity going on this set today, along with Midwest Bank Center
Yep.
and MSlice. We're just really coming together as a nonprofit organization and businesses and banks in the St. Louis area that are trying to do the right things in the St. Louis area. So we want to thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you.
We will be right back with some great messages with Fifth Third Bank and an e-bus that's banking you. They'll probably drive up to your front door.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Experience St. Louis.
Welcome back to Bank on Save Up St. Louis. This is an initiative of the St. Louis Regional Unbanked Task Force, and we're here in the studios right now talking with Royce Sutton, who is Vice President of Community Economics Development for Fifth Third Bank. I love that Fifth Third Bank. That's great. This is fairly a new bank for the St. Louis area, correct? Because when I left here about 10 years ago, Fifth Third wasn't here, so it's fairly new.
Robin, Fifth Third Bank has been here in the St. Louis market right about 12 years.
Okay,
and,
about that,
in
yeah,
that time,
about that time.
but a visible presence where you see more of our locations over the last 5 to 6 years. We began to grow our presence. So right now we have 17 locations here in the St. Louis metro area.
17 different branches, or?
Yes, 17 branches,
Wow. So
and continue to grow.
So this is a bank that's come in aggressively into the St. Louis market and has done some great marketing over the past 10, 12 years. And you're moving forward in several different really nice neighborhoods where you normally didn't see banks.
It's been very important to us that as we've entered the St. Louis market, that we not just come and do what might be the traditional thing. So what we have done, we've partnered with a lot of organizations, events, activities, key things that are going on in the community, so that we can feel like, one, that we know and have a good idea of what the desires and needs are of the community, but more importantly, how we can best service those needs. So you'll find us at events, activities that are a part of what we feel is the common part of what we do, and that is building relationships in the community. So some people, they may have a direct financial need now, others may have them later, but either way, we want to be able to serve as a trusted advisor for them.
That's great. Now, you are also doing some other great things. Now, you've been a part of the Bank on Save Up program in the past. Tell us a little bit about your history, not here in the St. Louis area, but in other parts of the country.
Well, Bank on Save Up, as you know, started in San Francisco right at about 8 years ago, and tremendous success. They start out with a goal of opening like 3,000 accounts, and they end up opening like 7,000 within a very short span of time.
Wow.
And this whole effort has grown throughout the country. You have over 100 Bank On cities throughout the nation, and I was involved with a Bank On initiative over in Indiana. We were the first city and the first bank really to be involved with a Bank On initiative, and that initiative grew into 5 other Bank On initiatives. So the intent was reaching those who are unbanked and underbanked with traditional bank products. What you often find is those who are unbanked really don't have a degree of comfort with banks. So helping to break down some of those barriers, some of those walls that exist between the bank and those who ultimately will have some type of financial transaction. Now, where they're getting it done and how they're getting it done, we want to help them do that in a more efficient way.
Right. What this initiative has been about is getting people in a healthier financial kind of a situation with reference to family. And Fifth Third, not only with reference to the events that you've had, you also look at identity theft and helping children get identified with collaborations with the police departments in the St. Louis area. Tell us a little bit about some of those things.
We have Fifth Third Bank, though we're here in St. Louis, our base is in Cincinnati, but we're in several metro cities. We have 15 different Bank On relationships with our company, throughout different partnerships with various cities. And in those partnerships, we take on what might be needed in that particular area. Here in St. Louis, what we have found that there is a high level of need for financial empowerment, as we call it. Others call it financial literacy, some call it financial education. But irrespective, what we're trying to do is bring information to the community that will help people feel more comfortable. There's a lot of myths around financial education and a lot of myths around banking.
What are some of those myths, for example?
The bank, many people believe that you have to have wealth a high level of wealth in order to have to open a banking account. Many people believe that banks maybe aren't friendly, or they will not get the level of service that they're according.
Some of those banks have not been friendly in the past.
Some of that, and some of that is, in fact, could be based in truth. People have not necessarily been accorded the best service and not been treated the best way. But we feel like we can begin to refashion that relationship and begin to show people that we are interested in their long-term financial future.
Now, one thing that I found so interesting, I saw this maybe a couple of years ago at a back-to-school event, the Fifth Third E-Bus. Tell us about this bus. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a 40-foot long bus, and it looks like a city bus, but it's wrapped in Fifth Third colors, but it is a rolling financial education classroom.
Really?
So on this bus, we've got 12 PCs, and we'll have experts on the bus when we bring it to the market that talk specifically about how you can maybe open your first account, how you can clean up your credit, how you can build a savings account, how you can look at managing your budget, all in this
On a bus.
So we partner with nonprofits, and the bus travels all throughout. In fact, this year we've had the bus here in the market 2 times. We've hit 11 sites and right at about 1,200 people with the e-bus, with the whole idea of empowering people with great financial information that will help them take the next step.
So they get a chance to, say, for example, at a health fair, if they partner with someone and with a housing authority here or a nonprofit organization, the e-bus can come there and set up classes for people or workshops during the time that they're there?
Absolutely. We did a workshop this past a couple months ago with the 100 Black men, and we focused on what to do after retirement. We did workshops with we did a workshop at Vashon High School where we focused upon how to teaching children how to save and how to think about financial decisions at an early age, how to think about how to build your financial future and avoid some of the mistakes that maybe you and I have made over the years.
Yes. So this is an opportunity for nonprofit organizations or individual churches. Can churches also call?
We were Friendly Temple.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're always looking for good organizations to partner with who are really interested and are passionate about financial education, who really want to see this tide turn so that we can see people not expecting that some of the traditional relationships that they're using, oftentimes they're spending more money with those than they would at a traditional financial institution. So we want to be able to break some of that cycle.
So what you're finding in a lot of cases are people may be a little afraid to come to a Fifth Third Bank or any of the other banking institutions with reference to the initiative because they've probably written bad checks in the past or they didn't pay back a loan on time and their credit's a little, so do you work with folks like that?
We have a whole menu of products that works with people who want to build credit, people who are maybe looking for their first loan, who maybe are opening their first account, or maybe they've had some blemishes with their relationship with banks in the past. We can work with them.
So you're a user-friendly bank, and
We are.
you're giving folks an opportunity to, like a second chance or an opportunity to move forward financially.
Isn't that what we all want? You know, we all want a second chance.
So. We do. We definitely want a second. I want to thank you so much, Royce, for coming in and talking with us about the e-bus and Fifth Third Bank's initiative here in St. Louis, and thank you so much for being a part of the Bank on Save Up initiative.
Thank you
so
Robin.
much. We will be back with more messages, and we've got some interesting information about a bank that has 3 initials, and I had an opportunity to work with them on the East Coast. They were awesome. We'll be right back.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Experience St. Louis.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back. I have with me two new guests today, Tony Edmonds and Philip. Please do your last name for me. Say your last name for me so I don't mispronounce it. I want to be respectful.
Sure, Shungokoya.
Shungokoya. Well, thank you so much for being with me today. Now, this segment is going to be very much of an adventure for me because I know a little about PNC Bank, which is where you both are from. But I would want you today to kind of give me some idea of and concepts of where you guys are involved with the Bank On and Save Up initiative. And Tony, let me begin with you. You're the assistant branch manager in the Hazelwood branch. And so will you tell me a little bit about your activities at that location and overall?
Yes, so I've been at the Hazelwood branch as the branch manager since January of 2012, about when I joined the bank. And we've had a lot of fun. Banking has been an eye-opening experience because my background came from mortgage. Yeah. So coming into banking was pretty interesting, but it's given us an opportunity to be able to help our clients from A to Z in all facets of, or anything associated with a dollar sign. Mm-hmm. So instead of just helping someone with a mortgage loan, now we can help people with everything associated with a dollar sign. From everything from savings to investment to retirement to loans to business banking, you name it.
Okay. Now I was familiar with your predecessor, Ms. Pettis, and
Yes.
I understand that she was instrumental in kind of getting you involved with PNC or the activities you're doing now?
Yeah, Tasha was huge here in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. She did a number of different projects, everything from faith-based initiatives, yes, everything to the grassroots of what we're doing now with Bank On Save Up. And she was instrumental in my involvement of not only what we're doing with EBRG, which is the African American Employee Business Resource Group at PNC Bank, which is an affinity program, but also what we're doing currently with the different projects and sponsorships and partnerships.
Okay, great. And Philip, my guy, your title, Business Banking Relationship Manager. Now, I imagine you catching quite a bit of heat now from small business, or are you doing real well with it?
It's been difficult. So, small business lending is a struggle, but I think it takes business banking. It's a focal point because you got to work with the entrepreneurs. You have to work with the small business owners.
And what things are you doing to kind of overcome those perceived difficulties?
Sure.
Because I know there's the way people are thinking out here, the banks are not that friendly, and obviously that's not really the facts. Can you kind of enlighten me a little bit?
Sure. I'd like to thank PNC for kind of giving us the right training to be more of a financial advisor, financial consultant. Because it's not about just saying, no, we can't do your commercial loan. Right. It's about, this is what it's going to take to get from where you are now to where you want to be. Okay. We take a look at the tax returns, you take a look at financials, and you really work with the client. Mm-hmm. It's not something where it's an open and shut case. So I think that's something that distinguishes a lot of bankers and sets them apart.
So it's really an engagement. You're not just really out there just being a service provider. You really are trying to engage these consumers so that they can advantage themselves through business banking relationships.
Correct. And it's not always about loans. Sometimes maybe you're not ready for the loan. Maybe it's time to find a different route. So, it's something where we really work with the client to figure out what's the best need.
Okay. And PNC's involvement with the initiative, with the Unbanked Task Force and Get Banked and, Bank On Save Up. Now, how are you guys involved there?
So we became a part of this initiative. For me, it was about a year ago. I was introduced to this initiative and came to the steering committee meetings and got a chance to see what the partnerships are doing with the banks and the nonprofit organizations, and it aligns perfectly with what PNC Bank is trying to do. Fabulous. So it was a good fit. Definitely a good fit.
Great. Well, I really do appreciate you guys coming in, giving us a bit of insight as to how things are going to be going as part of the process involved with Bank On and Save Up and Get Banked. I mean, I want to mention all three names as part of the involvement because I know there is a lot involved in what the bank can be doing and what these organizations are doing. Do you have relationships with the nonprofits that I mentioned earlier today?
Mm-hmm. Yes, one of the partnerships we have is Grace Hill Settlement, which is one of the locations, or a few of the locations are off of Grand Boulevard, and we've done a number of different things for them where we've served in their communities, we've helped with their facilities, everything from reading to children, to playing with children in our Grow Up Great program, to shoveling gravel and doing landscaping, just whatever they need.
Okay.
Most recently we did something in their gym where I think we ended up saving them like $10,000 with different employees from all over the footprint here in St. Louis to help them achieve their goals.
Yeah. Philip, I'll get back to you for just a moment. I always think about the small business people. Do you ever do a collective gathering with these guys or folks, and just guys, but just really to sit down and talk with them as a collective group talk about what that relationship could be with PNC.
Right. That's something that we love to do all the time. Really, we'd like to collaborate with other nonprofits, other bank partners as well to put on those type of workshops.
You actually work with another bank?
Yes, we're not afraid to work together.
No kidding.
And I think that's something that really sets us apart
Yeah.
because, to be honest with you, it's not about PNC. It's about how to be money smart. It's about how to be financially smart. So, you know, it's something where if you're not a PNC fan, maybe you're Midwest Bank Center or another bank, that's the time to really collectively come together as business bankers for us to teach what the entrepreneurs really need to know.
Okay, fabulous. And now, Tony, back to you when we were talking earlier about the retail banking side, and that's where people are opening up checking and savings account. Do you have any special programs out there that can actually allow the consumer easier access to obtain a new account, checking or savings?
Yes, we do have some second chance type of solutions for those who may have experienced some challenges with check systems or credit and whatnot. So we have a Foundations of Money Management type of checking program. We have a PNC Smart Access card. Prepaid cards are pretty popular in the community now. Our prepaid card is more about graduating them to the next level.
Now, is that reloadable, by the way?
Absolutely. You can reload it at any of our ATM machines, at any of our branch locations with cash, and we're moving forward with there'll be a time where we'll be able to even graduate from there into checks and whatnot.
So you can actually bring them through different tiers of banking in order to, elevate them from where they are today to where they can be and would want to be.
It's a part of the partnership. It's a part of the relationship. It's about getting them from where they're at and identifying who they are, how they want to bank, what their goals and strategies are, how fast they want to get there, taking them from the level that they come in and graduating them all the way through.
Fabulous, man. That's a lot. You guys are really active. Like I said, I anticipated this interview was going to be more of an adventure because I was not that familiar with the activities of PNC Bank, but I see you both are really, really actively involved in our community, just with, I'm really impressed with this business banking relationship. It's huge. So thank you very, very much for coming in today and sitting down and talking with us and sharing what PNC's activities are.
Thank you for having
so
us.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in and talk with us about Bank on Save Up, and thank you so much. How do you feel about this first show?
I love it. I think it's
good.
great. Yes.
It's good. What do we have coming up pretty soon?
This is the exciting part. I mean, this is an initiative show, a beginning show. We plan on having some of the 45 business partners out here from the nonprofit segment that can come in, not just banks, but actually the nonprofits. In addition to that, one of the programs that I really like is called Money Smart School of Finance for Children. I've been kind of personally actively involved with it, where we're going back to talk with the kids, not just waiting until they're adults.
So we're going to have them on the program as well.
Yes, we would love to have them on. Hope you guys will look forward to seeing those kinds of folks.
Exactly what the Grow Up Great program is all about with PNC. We want to thank you so much for coming on, and we want to thank everyone here in the St. Louis area for tuning in to our first Bank on Save Up show.
Thank you.
And we hope you come on back and check us out in future. Happy banking.